LesWin family. Good evening, man. I hope you guys are doing well, man. I'm excited for tonight, man. We are in for a great session for a good colleague of mine that I've been knowing for a very, very long time. Also want to welcome in the LesWin Financial Group Facebook page for the ones that's joining in live here tonight. Man, I got a good brother here, man, that I've been knowing for, man, I want to say well over 15 years now. We met while we was working for the Air Force in Missouri, and so we was just kind of just talking right before this call tonight, man. Basically, to where he was at 15 years ago, to where he's at today, and so I'm excited because he has a tremendous business that he's been in along with his wife. But guys, the key thing to this right here is we're always preaching the Let's Win financial community. You can also, even if you have a business, you can still also work a 9 to 5. And that's one of the key things with Kendrick and his wife in itself, man. He's still working 9 to 5, but also run a multi-million dollar business in itself here. So without further ado, man, I want to go ahead and bring on Kendrick. And so, Kendrick, if you don't mind, man, you can come on to the Let's Win financial community and unmute yourself, man. And so, Kendrick, man, how you doing tonight, good brother?
I am doing well. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing well, man. First of all, Kendrick, let me just say this, brother. I am excited and want to thank you, man, for coming to the Let's Win financial community. You yourself have been in this community for a while too, so you understand. You've seen a lot of other people that come on, man. But we was just talking a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, man, you're like, I need to really have like Kendrick come on and speak to the community because, man, what we about to speak on tonight is I just put it in the chat, man. It's big motivation because what you did, man, is like most business owners, they took a step of faith, and most business owners that did take that step of faith, man, have really, man, just stuck to their specific dream, and that's how you become successful, man, even through the challenges, the up and downs. But man, Kendra, so tell us, man, a little bit more about yourself. Tell the Let's Win financial community for us, family wise, maybe what you do for your 9 to 5, and we'll go from there.
All right. Kendrick Young, originally from Nashville, Tennessee. Uh, Married my high school sweetheart, Adriana. We've been together, been married for 25 years now. Uh, I work for the DEA right now, currently as a human resource specialist. I've been with them for 21, well, with the government 21 years, and I've had the great opportunity to hold several positions within DoD, from HRO policy to staffing, and yeah, and
Man,
now this is on.
hey, man, business owner, right? 21 years working for the government. So that's how we met. Whiteman Air Force Base, man. Very rural town there, Missouri, supporting the B 2 bombers. And so, guys, I met Kendrick, man. He was at his house. I don't even know how we come across, but I know you was at your house, and the only thing I remember you was doing your floors. I said, man, this guy here, man, like his house look good with these floors, right? And ever since then, we just been connected in itself here, right? So 9 to 5, that's the main thing here, right? So you and your wife, man, you guys, you started this business here, right? What made y'all want to start this business?
Um, the very first principle that made us start our business was easy. We just wanted to work together, just spend our time together working, building something for our kids and for our family. The second reason was, we both had that entrepreneurial spirit where we wanted to, uh, have that opportunity to have freedoms to do whatever we want, when we want, how we want. And so, starting this business gave us an opportunity to build a legacy and to control our future and provide value to the community that we live in.
Wow, wow. So tell us a little bit more about the business in itself here. What is it? What you guys do?
So we own a Paul Davis restoration service. So if you have a water, fire, mold, trauma scene that happens at your home, we come in, we do the remediation on that home or that property. We do commercial, residential, you name it, we can do, and do remediation on it.
Wow, wow. That's awesome in itself, man. So how long have y'all been in business?
So we actually opened up in October of 22. So this is going on our third year of service. But we've been planning this business for, it took us 4 years to get it open just about because, uh, finding a company that we wanted to do and finally coming to terms with Paul Davis that resonated with us. Then we opened in 22 October.
Wow. So Paul Davis, is that like a franchise?
It is a franchise.
Okay.
It started in 1977 in Jacksonville, Florida. We
Wow.
have over 350 locations throughout the United States. Uh, and I want to add two of those are owned by me and my wife.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So Kendrick, man, so you talk about like franchises, right? We look at Popeyes, we look at Subway, and here it is, man. You own this restoration franchise in itself here, right? And so what does it really take for someone to open or join a Paul Davis franchise? What's the requirements?
So there's financial requirements, and that's one reason I love LesWin because it helped me meet some of those financial requirements. Um, one of the most important things you can do for yourself is investing in yourself and investing in a 401k or a home or something that's going to be an asset to you down long term. And so uh, to get a Paul Davis, they want you to have a net worth of upwards of $1 million. And again, the 401k that I had with the government TSP, I think there's a lot of federal workers within this group. And I'm gonna tell you some of the things that you told me when you first started out. Hey, we got to max this thing out,
Mhm.
and that really helped because when we went to the bank to ask for money, they looked at our 401k and said, this person seemed like he's responsible, he's invested in himself, and I do want to give you your flowers because as of right now, my TSP is at $650,000.
Wow.
So I'm 47. If I decide to work to 62, which I probably won't do that, but I'm well on my way to be a millionaire just off my TSP. So I want to echo that again within this community. Invest in yourself, invest in your TSP or any 401k you have, whether you work, in the private sector or public sector.
Wow. And Kendra, I think that's a very important key, right? As far as investing in yourself, because oftentimes, though, man, we live in a very materialistic world where we buy things as far as what we have to wear, what we drive, what we post. And here it is, man. You own this franchise with your wife, and so you went down. And what type of loan did you get?
So we did an SBA loan, um, and we went through a bank called Live Oak. Um,
Wait, what's the name of the bank?
Live Oak Bank,
Like two words.
Liveoak. Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Kendra. So check this out, brother. My parents on this call here tonight, right? And you would not believe this shit. Now I didn't know this. Guess where I'm from?
Florida.
I'm from a little city called Live Oak, Florida. So it's kind of ironic. That's not the same bank, but I'm like, wait, you say Live Oak? That's so ironic. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that we secured our funding there, Live Oak Bank. We did an SBA loan, which again, when you start a franchise or even a independent, um, they look at your financials to see how much they're going to secure for that loan. And so again, I can't say it enough. Them looking at my TSP, we did get some money, but it wasn't the millions of dollars like you think you would get from the government to start a business. So it's again important to make sure you have a good strategic plan, a business plan to operate this company that you're going to start, because it's vital to understand where your money's coming in at, where you're sending it out at, and how much you're going to need to sustain that business just in case, worst case scenarios.
Wow, that's so good. That's so good. So, what were some of the things that you and your wife had to do outside of just like getting like the loan in itself, right? Like, what some of the qualifications or requirements that Paul Davis made you guys do for his training to before you started?
So Paul Davis sends you through an intense 4-week training. So it was 2 weeks in residence. So I was actually in Jacksonville, Florida for 2 weeks, um, where we got certified in the water restoration techniques, ASD, which is applied structural drawing, lead certification. And then I went out on my own and again invested in myself. I got mold certification. Now we're asbestos certified. And so, but Paul Davis is 2 weeks in residence, and then there's 2 weeks intensive training online where you actually have a coach or a mentor and instructor for 8 hours a day, just hammering you with information about uh, how to run a business, whether it's looking at QuickBooks, which does all your basic accounting, looking at various sites for ordering equipment, our everyday operation of the systems that we use to produce a job.
Wow, wow. That's good in itself here, man. So you got the loan, you did this training. So what was like the first year like, man, with this particular business, right? You know, first year is always challenges, or the good, the bad. What was like the first year like?
Okay, first year, let me start with when we set out to do this business or franchise, we wanted to research all the all the companies within this industry to find out who had the best relationships with the insurance company because this is all insurance based. And so Paul Davis has 8 of the 10 largest insurance companies uh, that is the direct referral program with them. So for us, year one was, you know, pretty successful. Year one, we did $1.7 million. That's
Wait,
zero
wait,
marketing,
wait, Kendra. I want to make sure. I don't want that to go over people's head now, right? How much?
$1.7 million.
Whoa, my goodness. $1.7 million. That's very successful. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I want to make sure that didn't go over the community here. 1.7 million. All right, go ahead.
1.7, that's without marketing. That was just leveraging the relationships that Paul Davis had already built for us. And that's another reason we wanted a franchise. We wanted a ready-made recipe that all we had to do was apply it and add our own little seasoning, our own little flavor, our own ideas to this process to help it go. Year two, we did a little over $3 million, and that was last year.
Wow.
Again, there was no marketing. That was just building relationships that we had with building upon the relationships that Paul Davis had with the justice and insurance company. And we just closed out year three, and we're going to surpass year two.
Wow.
It wasn't the $7 million I wanted to do, but we did more than what we did last year.
Wow, man. So you guys keep growing. So Kendra, so here's the deal, right? So we say you guys working 9 to 5, which you do. So if y'all working at 9 to 5 and you have this business, how do you run this business? Like you got employees that work for you? How does that work?
So I got to give my wife all the credit that of running this business because she runs it. She works 2 days a month, but the rest of the time she's at Paul Davis. And what we did was on top of her, being the focus point of running the business, is we hired the right people to put in the positions that we needed to be successful. So we have a staff of 10 folks right now, ranging anywhere from 100,000 down to 40,000, from being a manager down to a mitigation technician. And so we think we found the right people to run this company for us so we can work on the business versus in the business.
Wow. Wow. So man, that's great, man. So you started 1.7 million and it's just been increasing on the revenue growth every single year with 10 employees. Have you guys ever got to the point since you guys been in business where you start maybe questioning is this right for us? And it's probably not even a question because I mean, if you're starting at 1.7, but it's a lot that's going on because you still got a family, right? We didn't even talk about the family. You got what? How many kids you got?
I got 3 girls, aging from 20 to 19 to 13.
Now, Kendrick, even that in itself, man, you didn't say not the first boy, and you dealing with 3 girls, and from a teenage to in college, and now you run a business, now you working a 9 to 5. Like, how y'all keep everything together as far as just keep the engine going?
Um, it can get stressful at times. I'm not going to tell you that running a business is always easy. Especially being a business owner where you
Daddy,
you mortgage your home,
Daddy,
your business. You
Daddy.
I'm sorry here,
Daddy,
guys. If you don't mind
Daddy,
muting,
can I have some cereal?
I'm sorry here. Hold on one sec
Absolutely.
here.
Let the young man get cereal. That's absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Kendrick. Go ahead. I got
Okay.
everybody muted.
Um, yeah, so it can get stressful, but I think for us, because we leverage so much, like when something don't go right or as we planned, it's easy to get discouraged. But I think that we've been good at being able to come back, calm down, look at it, and do a retrospective look at what went wrong and what possibly went right in that wrong, and trying to perfect it to make it better. And you know, when it's all said and done, we still have faith. We know the good Lord is gonna,
Hmm.
lead us
Hmm.
down the right path. And so
Absolutely.
this has been a great journey for me and my family. So we take the bad with the good. It's part of the process.
Man, that's so good. What would you say, man, is the most rewarding aspect in being a business owner, and in particular working for Paul Davis?
Best aspect of owning a business. It has to be the opportunities that it is provided for my family. Like my kids, they go to school and they don't have to worry about that school bill being paid.
Hmm.
And then my kids are even excited about working in the business. Like my two oldest girls, they like, well, I want to come back doing something. I want to work for you. I want to learn because now they have that entrepreneurial spirit and they want to do their own thing. And
Wow.
so that's been a blessing to see them get excited about trying to grow something themselves.
Wow, wow, wow. Man, that's so good because this is like legacy in itself here, right? So 3 years in, man, where do you see yourself 5 years from now with the business?
So 5 years from now, hopefully we're a $10 million company easy, hopefully that's within the next 2 or 3 years. But we're a $10 million company easy, uh, enjoying life,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know, enjoying the fruits of our labor. Because in 5 years we should be, hopefully our feet are kicked up and we're enjoying life a lot more. Um,
yeah, yeah. That's so good. I mean, with $10 million revenue, even at $7 million revenue, at what point would you say that the 9 to 5 jobs you don't have those any longer?
So, me and my wife actually been talking about, me resigning from the government in February, but I'm 2 years from being, well, 2.5 years from being 50, and if I wait those 2 years, 2.5 years, I can draw my retirement. So February will be the earliest, and then, you know, 2028 will be the latest in
Wow,
February. And
wow.
my wife, she works at a nonprofit those 2 days, so I don't know if she's real eager about giving that up because she liked the mission that
Hmm.
that she does
Hmm.
in that nonprofit.
Yeah. So Kendrick, so is it going to be hard for you, man? 21 years working for the government, pretty much serving your country. Is it going to be hard to give that up?
Absolutely not, especially with this roller coaster we on now. I'm gonna be honest. Uh, but,
Uh,
but but I don't let that, I don't let who's in office or who's not in office dictate what's best for my family. And so we're gonna look at it, and make that decision, maybe in February or 28. So
Yeah, yeah. So Kendra, how would you say, man? Like, so it's one thing like to run a business, right? So you got the whole operation side of the house with the restoration, the mitigation, things of that nature. But how is it like running like the financial, like the business side of it, like the books? Like, is that like tedious, or is it like what's that experience like?
So I don't want to take the fame for that. My wife runs the books, and she's phenomenal. We do have a great accountant. If y'all need one, her name is Leslie Briley. I can't say enough about her. And that's part of I think again, God puts you where you need to be.
Yeah.
Him introducing me to you,
Hmm.
which has been a blessing for my 401k and my
Hmm.
family.
Hmm.
To you meeting Leslie,
Hmm.
that's a blessing to you. That is a blessing to me because now I get to see what she do in real life action as a CPA. So yeah, so I got a great team between my wife and Miss Riley, I really don't have to look at the book, so I don't want to take their fame and their claim.
Man, that's good. That's good. So when we talk about legacy in itself here, do you see at any point, maybe in the future, down the line, 15, 20 years from now, your daughter's running the business?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
if they choose. But I don't want to force them into this business. But my goal is to spark an idea in their mind or in their hearts to do whatever they feel comfortable with. Like I got my oldest daughter, she loved doing nails. It's not my forte, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to promote that through Paul Davis
Mhm.
in any way I have to, whether it's getting a loan for her or giving her business advice or just even providing a simple prayer.
Yeah. Wow. That's so good. That's so good. Kendrick, we're gonna open it up here in a few minutes for the LesWin financial community to also ask you some of the questions that they have when it comes to the business in itself. But I just want to say though, Kendrick, I just remember, man, literally like 5 years ago, 2020, or even right before that, man, we was talking about, you wanted like to get government contracts, right, and get in a system called SAM, right? And I just look at, man, where that entrepreneur spirit that you had, and that didn't necessarily work with the government contracts per se, right? And it kind of shifted into this. So what leads success to me always leads to like clues. Like you weren't just satisfied working a 9 to 5 job, and with a government shutdown, I just tell a lot of my colleagues now as a federal government employee myself, right? Having one income is just too risky, right? And so in itself, you don't necessarily have to worry about that. When you look at the multiple streams, which is still between working a 9 to 5, and so that's the main one of the main things I want to push tonight to this community to say, hey, look, monetize whatever your passion is. And you and your wife, y'all took that, I don't want to say risk, right? I always like to say calculated risk, right? Because you did your due diligence, you did your research in order to particularly to start this business here, right? So Paul Davis here, right? So how far is that? Like, what's your day to day dynamics? Is that like a long ways from your house? Do you visit in the office every day? What's like your day to day operation?
So our office is roughly about 13 miles from our home.
Wow.
I live in North Dallas, and our office is in Grand Prairie, Arlington, and then we have everything south of that too. So our office is literally like 3 miles from the Cowboy Stadium.
Wow.
Typically, what my day look like is I get up and go to work at 6, get off by 2:30, and then I go to Paul Davis until about 5 or 6 with my wife, and then I come home and then wake up, do it again.
Wow, 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 man, that's amazing in itself. I know, man. There's got to be a proud feeling, man, knowing the fact that not only a business owner, but at the end of the day, man, you're employing people with jobs in itself, and so that's one thing. What the federal government also reward you and your wife as well, as far as giving this economy, giving people jobs, and so man, that's where you have over 300 plus different tax deductions that's available to you, right? So you got your own personal, and now you got the whole business tax deductions, though. So, man, salute to you and the wife, man, for what you guys are doing. And so, want to open it up now to the Let's Win financial community. Guys, you can either put your question in the chat or you can just unmute your mic. And if you got any questions here for Kendrick, I've been calling Kendrick a different name other than Kendrick for a very long time now. I call him Kendrick tonight, but he know I call him Money because we just got that type of relationship, right? But so let's see if we got any questions for Money. I know you guys do. Uh, Unmute your mic and you feel free to answer any questions. They all
Hi,
shy to me. Go ahead.
hi, Sharon. This is Latricia.
All right
Um,
now. Latrish,
when I
how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. When I saw that Kendrick was a speaker tonight, I had to hop on. I met Kendrick when he came to work with EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. We worked together in HR starting back maybe 2016, but I've known Kendrick for a while. Kendrick has always talked about owning his own business from like the first day I met him or whatever. And we would always go back and forth and he would, tell me his ideas about owning his own business, him and his wife. And then we would talk about like 401ks, TSPs, and things like that. And he's like, I need to hook you up with Sherwin. This guy named Sherwin, let me hook you up with them. And that's how I became part of the LesWin family. So, like you said, it's just a blessing on top of a blessing. And Kendrick, I'm so proud of you, and your business, you and your wife. Like this couldn't have happened to a better person. I'm just really proud of you. I just wanted to get on here and say that. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Wow.
Cunningham.
Hey, so Kendra, that's so good with Trish, man, because you introduced me to her and you guys been working together, just a good relationship. And Kendra, man, you just a good guy all around, man. So I'm just so happy, man, that God blessing you and your family, man. And so it's just keep putting in the work in itself here. We do have a question here in the chat that says, how did you come across the Paul Davis franchise?
So, Paul Davis, what we found Paul Davis was, let me rewind. So we initially started looking at various industries that we can get into because we wanted to start a business, and we looked at HR. How could we monetize HR? And then we looked at my wife, that's a dental hygienist. How could we monetize that? And we felt like it wasn't something that would be consistent even when the times were down. So we wanted a business that was recession proof kind of. And so the restoration industry is because if you own a home, you have to have insurance on it, especially if you're financing it. And so we knew if we got into this industry, the business would just continue. It'd be steady. And so we started looking at various restoration companies. We looked at all the usual suspects from Stanley Steamer to Servpro to Rainbow. But then we found this company called Paul Davis. We knew nothing about them. Very small compared to other restoration companies. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say small, Paul Davis is still a $2.5 billion company, and this year I think we're projected to do a little over $3 billion. But when we found Paul Davis and started researching the values of it and what it stood for and the relationships that it had, that's what made us go with them. So we just a Google search. Google is your best friend, and that's what we utilize.
Wow, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. Hey Kendra, I do have another question here too myself, right? So your main revenue that comes in, you say is through insurance companies, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's so good because now you don't necessarily have to worry about people. It's
Haggling haggling for your payment or haggling for the estimate. Sometimes we write an estimate, to a cash pay, they're like, oh, $10,000 or $8,000, whatever the number is. They want it cheaper. That's the American way. That's the
Mhm.
human part of the business. Well, within inside of the industry of restoration, if we're dealing with an insurance company, it's just like medical. They're going to pay what they're going to pay. And as long as I document um, provide a fair estimate, a legitimate estimate, they'll pay it. They'll pay it. And they pay it directly to me. And so I don't have to hound the homeowner. That was another reason. Like, I didn't have to go chasing my money. It's almost like the checks in the mail when I'm dealing with the insurance company.
Wow, that's so good. That's so good. We have another question here. As you research different industries that prove to be recession proof, were there any other industries you came across that also show promise or security?
Yes. So another industry that we looked at that me and my wife still talk about possibly doing in the future is childcare. Um,
Mm.
you can't go wrong with that. There's waiting lists at just about every childcare center out there. And, I listened to some of your LesWin videos, and you're always talking about AI. AI is going to be the future as far as stocks and stuff.
Mhm.
Well, if you looking at a business to get into, it's very simple. They used to teach it in school as a certification, as an electrician. So if you can become a certified electrician, uh, that's going to be very big in the future because AI needs power to run those systems, and it's not enough power and not enough electricians. So those are two industries that we looked at. We looked at childcare and possibly franchising a electrical company.
Yeah. Wow. That's so good, Kendrick, because hey man, people gonna always be having kids. And you in the rental properties as well. Man, electricians and plumbing, man, they some of my biggest expenses. So no, those are very, very great thoughts here. So Kendra, how does that work though? If you guys think about, daycare or something like that down the line though, right? Would you be able to still do your Paul Davis and kind of run it like the same way you kind of run Paul Davis?
Absolutely. So the key part of the childcare, if we decide to do that, is finding a director that is competent, trustworthy, and know how to take care of kids. And luckily, I have a wonderful, wonderful little sister that we've already, planted seeds. Like, if we do this, would you be on board? And I think she would be more than welcome to come on board. And so I will be able to leave her to focus on the childcare while me and my wife still, uh, focusing on Paul Davis and float in between the two.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's so good. That was a great question, Glenn, because people always think about right franchises, businesses, but Kendra, people just scared, man, to step outside that 9 to 5 because at the end of the day, right, the business sometime if you do it, would you make money? And you might not get paid every 14 days, right? Uh, so in itself, I always say this right here, man. Life is too short to be getting waiting to get paid every 14 days. Like life it's just too short for that, right? So why not being able to say, okay, why not get paid every day or every other day, right? And so you and your wife, you guys are living that in itself here.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback on top of that, just for the younger folks, since I'm 47 now.
You
Um,
young man.
right, right. But even younger, like I tell my kids, the one reason I'm gonna promote a business for them is if it goes up in flames and don't be successful. Let's say they go out and get a $10,000 loan from a bank. I'm not saying ruin your credit, but what's the worst that can happen? 7 years from now, you be made whole again. And so it's worth a shot to believe in yourself, to try to do something great. You know, that's why I encourage it.
Yeah. Hey Kendra, I like that. You said believe in yourself, and that's one thing that you guys did. So that's so good here. Any more questions?
Hey Sharon, how you doing?
Whitney,
How
what's
you?
going on?
Nothing much. I don't have a question. I just want to say, Kendrick is my cousin. He also introduced me to you. That's how I joined the LesWin financial family, and I just want to tell Kendrick I'm proud of him and every good thing that's coming to him and his family. They deserve it.
Mm.
Thank you, Whitney.
Love it, love it. S and so Kendrick, that's just how good you are, man. Because you didn't necessarily gatekeep. We've been connected. We've been boys, uh, business relationships, and then now you put your friends, you put your family, into this community, man. And so, that's why, man, God blessing you because as a faith believer in itself, man, I'm always a big believer in every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord. So you got a good wife, right? And my dad has always told me this here, right? Once you got a good wife, man, she'll take you places that you never imagined. And we just talked about this here, right? At Whiteman Air Force Base, you working a 9 to 5 job, redoing your floors, and now 15 years later, you running a multi-million-dollar business, right? I know some morning, do you wake up sometime, Kendrick? Can you pinch yourself and say, "Man, is this really real?"
Absolutely. Because I come from humble beginnings. Like, I didn't, like, nobody in my family had the plan to make a $1 million company.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people had aspirations to do it, but
Yeah.
it just wasn't one of those things.
Hmm.
And to be here now, to be living the dream, it's amazing. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah. And so, Kendra, I know everybody franchise probably won't be as successful, right? But if you look at a Paul Davis franchise, right, what would you say would be the success rate as far as the average amount of years that people in this particular franchise?
Um, the success rate. So when I started, we had, I want to say 7, 8 people in my class, all the way from North Carolina over to California. I can tell you, everybody did over $1 million. And I do want to add that I was number one. Uh, in all honesty, yes, I was. But yeah, so everyone in Paul Davis that in my year one did over $1 million.
Wow.
Year two, I think everybody did, over that $1 million that they did before. Uh, the success rate, I think everybody's still in business that I was in class with. Um, and talking to other people in the industry that's come on after us, they're successful. There's a brother down in Austin that also he did 1.2 his first year, and then he did like 1.3 his second year. And
Mhm.
so it seemed to be very successful just because of the industry.
Mhm.
But I've seen people close their doors or sell because either the passion is not there no more. As you know, as private equity companies get into an industry, it kind of sours it. Um, we don't have private equity within Paul Davis, but our competitors are spending big money. Servpro just put, I think, something like $3 billion in growth opportunities. So it's becoming very competitive, and so some people may not like that that competitive nature. I say bring it on. The more the merrier.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for growth for everyone.
Yeah. So Kendra, here's another question in the community here. They was asking, did you have any experience in the industry at all before starting?
Absolutely. My wife used to give me these honeydew lists and say, "Hey, fix this wall, patch that." No, I had no real experience. Just again the honeydew stuff. Um, but that's one thing I liked about Paul Davis. The training was intensive. Like when I talked to some of the other ones, it was just like a 1 week course that you had to go to. With Paul Davis, they was adamant that it had to be 4 weeks, and then we had to go get all these certifications. And so, again, that was one of the reasons that we chose Paul Davis, what they stood for, and how they were going to train us. And even the first 3 years of launch, we get what we call a launch coach, which they fly in at least 2 times a year. We do phone calls every month with them, 2 to 3 phone calls a month with them. And so we have that constant guidance and that leadership to help continue to grow our company. So
Yeah.
you're not just left out there flapping anymore.
Yeah. Kendra, here's another deal too, man. Even like with the Chick-fil-A franchise, man, I realized like their franchise owners like literally have to be there like every single day, like working that franchise. And it seems like, with this particular franchise, it I'm sure probably when you first started out, you had to be there until you probably got used to it, or operations running smoothly. But it seems like this here is, once you get it running, it allows you to have that flexibility versus, I mean, Chick-fil-A is good, but I see them franchise owners, man, like they're every day, all day.
Yes, Chick-fil-A is a owner operator. So Chick-fil-A owns the building, the fry makers, all the equipment. All you do is operate it for them. I looked at that too. But it's a great opportunity. You can easily make $200,000, $300,000 a year with Chick-fil-A.
Nice, nice, nice. That's so good. That's so good. All right. We have any more questions, guys, from the community? Any more questions? Any more questions? This has been good. This has been good. Would you like to have any final words for us, or motivation, or just leave with the community? Just your thoughts, sentiments.
Yeah. Find whatever you're passionate in or whatever you feel like is a great opportunity for you and your community and pursue it. Um, I've seen people make money, selling rocks. So, hey, you can do whatever you put your mind to. So, uh, pursue your dreams. And if I can help in any way, shape, form, or fashion, Sharon, please feel free to share my number and contact information if you want to know more about Paul Davis or even the restoration industry as a whole. Uh, I think I think the Bible says, iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And so we're here to make each other better. So if I can help in any kind of way, why not?
It's good. That's so good. And I like that, Kendrick, because a lot of people, man, are willing not to be able to be open and say, "Look, here's the challenge that we had. Here's the steps that you can do. Maybe what we did." And so, that's why I really like this community because there's a lot of like expertise into it, and we don't necessarily always have to, income come from our particular jobs. It can come from other different places in itself here. So believing in yourself, man, is the most important because once you believe in yourself, it's in your mind, and once it's in your mind, then you can do anything that you want to achieve. And so, to be honest with you, Kendrick, that's for me, man, where really things kind of took off for me and my family. It's when I start thinking outside the box and just a regular 9 to 5 job. And when I start thinking about, okay, look, buying these real estate investment properties, right? Pumping as much money as I could into these like assets in itself here, right? I was just kind of telling my mom yesterday a certain investment goal that I want to do in 2026 that I've never done before. And so I'm always of the essence of live like no one else now so you can live like no one else later. And that's simply what you and your wife are doing. You're living like no one else now because there's not a lot of people that look like you, right? That's probably in these franchises. Not probably. That's we know that the statistics is very it's a small percentage, right? There are some, but it's not a big percentage. But you're living like no one else now, so you can live like no one else later. And then, man, what a legacy that you can set for your daughters to see that mom and dad working hard in the business, but at the same time too, still working a job. And the most important thing here, Kendrick, is right, is putting value on the dollar and making your kids understand that hey, look, this ain't gonna just be given. You got to be able to work hard for it. And so that's one thing I like about your family. The girls are going to school. What are they studying, by the way?
So my oldest is studying to be a teacher. My middle daughter is aiming for law school.
Yeah, there you
And I
go.
do want to give Cunningham a shout out because my middle daughter is also looking at possibly pledging to a certain color, pink and green, here shortly. So,
That's good. That's so good. That's so good. Um, well, Kendrick, man, thank you for coming on, man, and just being a wealth of knowledge and resource here for the community night. And so we're just so grateful for that. And so, thank you again, man. Tell your wife as well. Thank you. And so it's just been an honor and privilege, man. Just been knowing you for all these years and just seeing where you're at in life right about now, man. We wish you guys continued blessings. And if you continue to need anything from me, man, we here. And so we be boys for life. And so lifetime friendship.
yes, sir. Thank
Absolutely.
you.